I went there because I have an eye infection because of the area we live in. And she shows me a video of the inside of the hospital and wonders why I'm not there.
She went to the hospital to check up on your story that you went to the hospital?
Yes, ma'am, she did. She even showed me a video and then wanted to know why I wasn't there.
This is the plaintiff, Olivia Vedder. She says she hired the defendant to build her a fence to protect her dogs from the wildlife in Washington state. The guy took her money. He did some of the work, and then poof, he never came back. She refuses to let him get away with downright stealing from her and is suing for the $5,000 she's most certainly owed. This is the defendant, Mark Boatler. He says the plaintiff became paranoid when he had to miss work and go to the hospital with an eye infection, then claimed he was lying because she couldn't find him when she went there. He did most of this woman's work. He's not going back, and he was never paid in full, so he isn't returning anything to her. He's accused of not fencing in a customer.
All parties, please raise your right hand.
What you are about to witness is real. The participants are not actors. They are actual litigants with a case pending in civil court. Both parties have agreed to drop their claims and have their cases settled here before Judge Marilyn Milian in our forum, the People's Court.
People's Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Marilyn Milian is now presiding. Litigants have been sworn in. Oops, sorry.
Oops. Thank you.
You're welcome, Your Honor.
All righty. Ms. Vedder, what's going on?
Hello, Your Honor. I live in Arizona, and after my father passed away, I was taking care of him. I loaded my mom, my two dogs in a car, and we went to a small
I'm sorry, you loaded them in the car and went where? I'm sorry about your loss, by the way.
Thank you very much. From Arizona to Washington State.
Okay.
To the Long Beach Peninsula, where I have a small place.
Okay.
When I got to the house, I quickly realized that the little two dogs I had a very difficult time being outside. There was a lot of wildlife out there. And also my husband was supposed to come back with a third dog, which is a really big and very serious hunting dog. He's a Russian wolfhound. So they needed to be enclosed. I needed to build a fence around the property.
So you decided that you needed a fence around your property for the dogs?
As soon as possible,
okay,
yes.
So
because my husband could not come without the fence to be put in with the third dog.
All right, so...
So I saw Mark working on a neighbor's property, installing a fence, which is a logical thing. And he was really doing a really good job. I was impressed by the fence and the quality of work. And I contacted him. I gave him my phone number, told him where I lived. And he came by the house after he was done with this project. And he told me, he quoted me $2,500 to install a privacy fence in the back. It's a 6-foot wooden fence, a privacy fence from my next door neighbors, and a chain link fence around the property with the rolling chain link gate and a cement pad to park the car inside the perimeter. I wrote up a contract. He signed it. We agreed on 3 installments of $2,500 to be split in 3 installments.
How much did you pay him, and when did you pay him?
I paid him total $1,700, $850 on 7/22, the original date when we came into the agreement.
And then the next payment was supposed to be paid at what progress?
It was supposed to be paid on Sunday, July 25th.
So it was based on timing, not on progress. All right, so what did he get done before the problem arose?
I have to correct that. It specified that the job to be completed by 7/26 of 21.
Okay, now here's my question.
and-
What did he get done before a problem happened?
The very next day, he came in with his helper, and they brought in 18 metal posts and a few bags of cement, and he cemented in some of the posts.
And was
That
there a
was on
problem with the
Friday.
work he did do?
The posts were installed in a jagged line, not evenly, and also they were installed in sections that were different. There was different distance between them.
Okay, so did you bring that up to his attention?
I could not because he no longer was
Okay,
there.
so what happened? You fired him, why?
I did not fire him. I was in communication trying to get him to come back and correct his job and finish the job.
Okay, I'm going to ask you then, Mr.
for a couple
Butler,
weeks
what
after.
happened with Ms. Vetter? You get a phone call from her saying what?
No, ma'am. I did not get a phone call from Miss Vetter. The last thing I received from her was a video of the Ilwaco hospital, because I went there because I have an eye infection because of the area we live in. And she shows me a video of the inside of the hospital and wonders why I'm not there.
She went to the hospital to check
Okay.
up on your story that you went to the hospital?
Yes, ma'am, she did. She even showed me a video and then wanted to know why I wasn't there. And I was there. They're not going to give you any information
A
on a
text
patient
message
unless
has
you
passed
are.
that point between the two of us.
She sends you a video telling you that she's in the lobby and you're not a registered patient, and you find that a little peculiar. What do you say to her?
I don't see anything.
So tell me what
You know.
happens.
Okay, I went ahead and started the job. I got it going, and I planted all the posts, and I left my equipment there, my post hole digger, my chainsaw, and a shovel and a bar. I left it there. Okay, I came back with fence material, all the top rail and all that, because I had the posts in. And the next day, she sent me a text that I had stolen some tools from her. They were my tools. I loaded them up. I emptied them there because I needed to go pick the fence material up. Picked the fence material up, and I got my tools. I found it kind of creepy when she sent me a video from the hospital. That's kind of when I'm going, okay, what's going to happen next?
So when you put
just
in
kinda
the, can I
backed off.
ask you, I'm fascinated by how things went wrong, but I want to ask you, in terms of the work that you did do, did you you positioned the posts how far away from each other?
Posts were positioned 10 feet apart, Your Honor. At the
Exactly
end, you
10
have-
feet apart, each one?
Yeah, 10 feet apart. If you have 111 feet, okay, you're going to have that many posts.
Okay. So I'd like to see the text that she sent you where you say she accuses you of stealing. You guys didn't happen to take some of our gardening tools with you. They were in the yard on Sunday, and the only visitors we show on video cameras were you two in an orange Chevy truck. And he answers, no, the only tools I picked up were mine. Other than that, no. I'm still feeling like blank, Libby. I'm going to the hospital. To which you answer, I hope you will be okay. Are you staying with Roger? Is there anyone to take care of you? I can take you to the hospital if he's busy. There were quite expensive bunch of tools in the front yard, right where you picked up your bag from lunch. No, I'm good. I'm on my way there. And you answered, no, there was nothing there even when we unloaded the fence post. Notably, it's talking about gardening tools, nothing about a chainsaw. I mean, it doesn't sound like she's accusing you of stealing them. She's asking about something that's missing.
Is it
Now
possible
she's
for me
accusing
to
you of stealing them because now she's suing you for them. So now she is accusing you of stealing them. But
Is it
Yes,
possible?
ma'am.
so we have a picture here of the work that he did, and you sent this picture into evidence because in it you want me to see that there's not a whole lot done. According to you, what did he do? Just put in posts, and he didn't put them well. They had to be pulled out, correct, Ms. Vetter?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
So what am I looking at here, Mr. Bottler? Why are there zigzag holes or whatever?
That's not the original fence line right there. She had me change that.
So
I
you mean
ran
you
a
made...
straight line right in front of the property.
Right, but I'm
But
not
there's
understanding...
also a 5-foot easement there.
Hold on,
There's
hold on.
also a
I'm
5-foot
not-
easement
wait,
there that
stop,
you have
stop,
to pay
stop.
attention
Why
to.
does it look like a gopher was here? I feel like I'm in...
Yes, ma'am. You dig it. You got to dig a 2-foot hole for a post. They allow for that. Then you fill it up with concrete.
Caddyshack.
There we go.
All right. Yes, I know that you have to dig a 2-foot hole for a post. I'm wondering why they're on 2 different planes. Was it supposed to be in the one spot and she changed her mind? Or what is it you're trying to tell me?
No, what I thought she wanted was me to outline the property line. So that's what I did. She
I don't know.
then
Do you
changed
see
it.
the picture
She wanted it
I'm
straight.
showing you? Okay. So you thought she wanted the fence at a certain point, and then she said, no, that's not where I want it. That's what happened.
And
Okay.
I changed it. Yeah.
Okay. Now,
That
she's
picture
complaining that they still aren't equidistant, that they're in random spots. And she has a picture that I do want you to explain to me because it is kind of strange. Here's the picture. And then here is, well, these, they do look equidistant. I can't quite tell there. These, they don't look so equidistant.
Which ones are you talking about?
I mean, there's a
Gate
bigger
posts?
distance between this post and that post than there is in the other post. Is that because, why is that?
There's a gate that goes there.
Gotcha.
No, that's not the side for the gate.
Well, where would be the side for the gate? Otherwise, it would be in your backyard.
There was a
There was no-
there was a people gate that I
There
put
is
in there.
All right, so what happens when you send a video of them telling you, no, he's not a patient here? Why are you doing that? Why did you go to the hospital and check on him and then take a video to tell him he's a liar? Why did you do all that?
When Mark was there with his friend, the last time was on Sunday. They had about an hour in my yard. And the chainsaw, I did not notice it was missing. It was on the side of the house. So I didn't mention anything because I didn't see it missing yet.
Which just means that you don't know where you leave your chainsaws. It just means that there's many more days where you have no idea where it was, and yet you're accusing him of stealing it because you're suing him for $300 for your chainsaw.
When the last time we're there was on Sunday, they had to wait for me to come back with the money, and it was an expected amount of money that he requested without performing any work that day or the day before. And I got a strange feeling that like a hinky hairs in my back, and the back of my neck was standing up, that he is ripping me off and he's going to be going after that. So next day when he started telling me that he is sick and I gave him COVID and...
Where does he tell you that you gave him COVID? I read the text. I didn't see that.
Your Honor, she happened to be sick that day.
Okay. All right, so you did say that. All right, so go on.
So I got the feeling that he's not going to be back.
So you so you went to the hospital to verify his story that he was sick and had to go to the hospital?
No. When he told me that that he's sick and he's going to hospital because I gave him COVID, I actually was concerned because I felt guilty and I was
Did you?
concerned,
So you
and I
went to
was
the hospital to do what?
I wanted to see if he needs anything.
Really?
That was
That's
in my
why.
text
So that's
as well.
why. That's why you videotaped the lady saying he's not a patient here and then sent it to him so you could show him to be a liar because you think he's trying to pull one on you. Now, the day that you also followed him to his house, right?
I did.
Okay, tell me about that.
Well, he knows where I live and the first date, and I knew nothing about him, so I just thought it's only fair for me to know where he stays.
Were you, according to you, you were a cop for many years and did undercover work. How long were you a cop? Were you a police officer?
Yes.
How long were you a police officer?
A decade and a half.
Okay, and why did you resign?
I did not resign. I got severely beaten up and injured, and after working light duty, I was unable to perform my duties as a police officer any longer.
Okay. How long ago was that?
That was 2010, the injury. I retired a few years ago.
Okay. Let's talk about what you did once you send that video. Does he say to you, okay, I'm not coming back now, or nobody says anything? Like, how do you two terminate things?
I went and I filed a theft report because I believe he stole my tools.
So you filed a police report, and what did the police do?
I am unaware what police did after that.
Okay. Were you ever contacted by the police, Mr. Bottler?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Did you steal her gardening tools?
No, ma'am.
Did you steal a chainsaw?
No, ma'am.
All right, you end up hiring another company, and what does that company do, Ms. Vetter?
I hired a friend of mine to install at least a privacy fence because my windows were directly across from my other neighbor's windows. And we installed at that portion of the fence. It should be noted, ma'am, that
So you never finished,
Wood,
did you ever hire anybody to put a fence for your dogs?
I ran
No.
out of money because Mark had $1,700 of my money that were intended for that reason.
And so there's no
That's what-
fence around
right.
the house right now?
There is a portion of the fence that I had money for.
Okay. All right. Now, the new person who you hired, do you have a contract with that person?
I don't have a contract with that person. He is just a friend who was helping me out. I paid him his hourly rate.
Okay.
what
Do you
he
have
would be
any
working
do you have
otherwise.
any evidence that the posts see it's very clear that the relationship between you two could not continue because he feels like you're accusing him of stealing stuff, even though she was very nice about that, but then you add that to a video at the hospital and he feels creeped out and he doesn't want to go back. Do you ever express to her, listen, I think it's best if I don't go back, or do you just ghost, Mr. Bottler?
Yes, ma'am. I came back to finish the job, but I thought about it. I'm going, well,
So
why
did you
is
come
she
back or
asking
didn't
me-
you? I understand. You're creeped out.
Yes,
I got
ma'am.
it. I just want to know what you did. So did you or didn't you ever come back after the text
No.
with the video? Okay.
No.
All right. Did you ever tell her, I'm not coming back and I'm not returning
No.
any of your money? All right. Well, then you can see why she's suing you. She wants a return of her money because you didn't finish putting anything in. And she paid you $1,700 and she wants you to return some of that because you didn't finish the job. What's your answer to that?
That's not a problem, Your Honor. But she never contacted me after that. And I wasn't going to get a hold of her. I wasn't going to do that.
All right. Well, then she sued you. So what do you think?
she did.
Let me hear from you on what you think is an appropriate amount of money to return, because you never installed a fence. You never bought the materials to install the fence, or if you did, I'm not seeing any evidence of it, and maybe you returned it. So really, all the work that you did was to put in the posts, which she had the other guy pull out because she no longer had money to pay someone else to do it, and you weren't coming, and et cetera, et cetera. So what exactly do you think the work you did do was worth?
I don't know. $900.
Here's the thing. If I pay you $1,700 to put in a fence and you don't put in the fence, it should come as no surprise that I'm going to sue for my $1,700 back, because that money's earmarked for me to put up a fence. If you do part of it and just never show up, you can't say, oh, she never called me to have me come back. I agree with you that it's a little strange to go to the hospital and then video the conversation with the person and then send it to you. It's hostile. And then here we are. So, but now I have to straighten it out, because it's not as though you went back and she said, get off my property. You just never came back and never finished it. So I'm going to order you to return the $1,700, because there's no value whatsoever to the posts that the other guy ended up ripping out because they're uneven. Not even because they're uneven. I don't even have to get to the point of whether they're unevenly measured. I have to get to the point
Right.
of
Your
there's
Honor.
no, don't talk. I have to get to the point of
Okay.
there's no point in the posts, because nobody came to finish and put up a fence. If you're not putting in the fence, the posts are just danger. So they have to be pulled out. I'm ordering you to return the $1,700 that she paid you, because you never went back to finish the job. And I'm ordering you to pay her the $75 for removal of the posts. I am not ordering you to pay her for the chainsaw or the gardening tools. And I'm certainly not ordering you to pay her $2,845 just for sport, because fraud, because you have absolutely no evidence. You have no more evidence today than you had on the day you wrote the text and asked about gardening tools. You have no idea where stuff is. So no, he's not going to pay you that, but I am ordering him to return the $1,775 that she's out for the fence that never happened. That's my verdict.
Court costs. Thank you.
So the plaintiff does prevail. She's going to get her money, the $1,775 back. Let's talk to Mr. Boatler, the defendant. You can't be surprised at the judge's
No,
decision,
not at all.
are you?
No, not at all.
Was it just because she didn't call you to come back that you didn't finish it? I mean, why didn't you go back and finish it?
Because of the text at the hospital. I mean, who does that? Who? You know what I mean? That's kind of creepy.
Were you afraid of her?
No, I wasn't afraid of her. I just didn't know what was going to happen next. What am I going to get accused of next?
Well, you didn't know you had a former cop checking up on you. Anyway, look,
Well,
that's the way it ended up. But you got to give that money back. Sorry about it, Miss Vetter. You heard the judge. You're going to get the $1,775 back. Plus, you get court costs. That's automatic. You'll get those back too.
Thank you. Thank
You
you,
didn't
Judge.
get anything else. Are you okay with that? Can you live with that?
I'm okay with this. It's just that you never know whom you can deal with. Don't judge book by the cover. If you see two ladies, the grief-stricken, sick, with heartache of losing the father, and you can think you can take advantage of them, think again. You never know whom you're dealing with.
Well, that's very true. All right. Thank you, ma'am. You have prevailed. Thank you very much.
So, Doug, the key to this case is communication, that both parties have an obligation to communicate with each other, especially when the job is going sideways. If somebody just disappears and doesn't communicate as to why, that is going to create real problems for that person, and they will probably lose a lawsuit.
What things do you disagree about?
What things do you and I disagree about?
God, it's just, there's too many.
Oh, let me count the
category
ways.
of things is just so enormous. How could I ever winnow it down to a subset that we could discuss?
Politics?
All the time.
A lot?
Yeah, all the time. Parenting?
No, that's not true. We don't really disagree very much about parenting.
No, as long as I get to be the good cop and you're the bad cop.
Right.
It's all good.
Yes.
It all works
when
out
we
just
do,
fine.
it's because you say that I'm too tough on them because
sometimes.
I'd like them to live within their means, not my means, their means.
Right.
Right. So you're constantly slipping them.
Yeah, you say that I undermine you.
You do. You undermine me, but not very much though. You really don't. I think we're on the same page on parenting.
I think so, generally.
This is the plaintiff, Oleg Skaken. He says he bought a sleeper sofa, and the defendant and his guys damaged his wood floors when they delivered it. He just spent $16,000 finishing those floors. They scratched them up because they were careless, and he's suing for the $1,172.88 he needs to fix them back up. This is the defendant, Quadre Smith. He says he delivers high-end Turkish and Italian furniture. And when he was done bringing the plaintiff his couch, he pointed out a very small scuff on the floor. When he said he'd fix it, even though he doesn't think his men did it, the guy refused and said he wanted a big, expensive company to do it. And here they are. He's accused of a hardwood floor hiccup.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket. The plaintiff says the defendant ruined his brand new hardwood floors and the guy won't pay for them. But the defendant says the floor had a small scuff and the plaintiff is trying to make a federal case out of it and he refuses to be taken advantage of. It's the case of you're a real woodpecker.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome.
Okay, Mr. Skaken, tell me what happened.
Yes, a week after finishing floors, so we called the company Fabio for delivery of the sofa. Was very excited. So delivery was made in time. It was beautiful day, first half of the day, sunny, everything is fine. So delivery was scheduled and it came as mentioned, no issues. So came two guys. And the sofa apparently. So I was working at home remotely, and so I showed where sofa should be located. It's a second floor, little bedroom, but it's converted to my wife's office now, and that's it. So from that point, I went back to work, and delivery guys start working. So we have two flights. On the first floor I was working, and the second floor sofa supposed to be delivered. And first flight was uneventful and no issues. I hear, yes, they It's three pieces actually. It's a head like a armrest, two pieces separately, and one piece is the main sofa. It's expensive, Italian sofa. So yeah, when I was working, first flight was brought up, and second flight was tricky because it's like it has some narrow parts and
Can I just ask you a
ceiling.
question?
So,
You had just done the floors?
a week ago. It was
So you had
moving still
just done the floors a week earlier. You had an expensive Italian sofa. They're in the middle of bringing it up the stairs. It's tricky, and you go back to work at your computer instead of just watching stuff for the next few minutes?
Yes, so that's what I did. So second flight was a challenge. That when I said it was, I hear noises, which is it's a hard sofa to bring it up. So I quit my job. No, I quit my sessions with my job, and I went to help. So I was helping. Literally, it was pushing upstairs this sofa. It was hard.
And then what happened?
Finally, finally we made it up. So at that point, because I was on the meeting, I had to go back and finish it. And I said to myself, it should not be any problem, because hardest part, I was worried about stairs. It passed. So it was a trolley, I believe some sort of like a four-wheeler. So they put on a sofa on a trolley and roll to the bedroom. And I went downstairs to finish my Zoom call. And after that, like maybe 20 minutes, they came down and said, it's finished. So I was so excited. And I took my wallet and gave $100.
$100 tip?
Yes, $100, because I was so excited. It's just, this is last.
Did you go up and look at the sofa first?
Yes. No, I didn't even go up.
No. So first the $100 tip, then you go up and see that they ruined your floors. Right?
Yes,
that's
correct.
the order.
When I went upstairs, and first thing is it just right in the middle of doorway. It's so this torn scratches in my heart. That's just saying, because it's.
So were they still there when you noticed the scratches?
Absolutely, they were standing right near me.
And what did you say?
I said you could ask about materials. I can give you any materials just to make it like not to scratch. But after that, they say, yes, we have a guy who can fix it. I said, okay, but he has to be professional. I cannot just let guy come and just fix my floors from, if it's like, it's expensive floor.
Did they ever say we didn't scratch that?
No, this time nobody said anything that it was scratched before. So that was not even in
all right, let me hear from you, Mr. Smith.
We delivered to the second floor. I thought it was the third floor, but okay. I have pictures of the floor, because the picture that I have is zoomed in on the picture. So the picture that I received, he zoomed in on the picture and sent and printed that out. He has a few. I see it. It's like carved in marks on his floor.
I don't know what that means, but do you have pictures that are different than the ones he gave me?
Yes, I do.
I have some very close-up pictures. I'd like to know, though, where this is in relation to where the couch is. So do you have, go to the room and show me the scratch.
Okay.
Perfect.
Okay, I'm going to room.
Perfect.
This is the stairs we came. It's a little tricky, yes.
Yes.
That's true. On this point, just 1 second. If you can see right there.
Oh, that's pretty bad.
It's pretty bad. It goes right whole thing. 2 planks is managed, and it's right. It's right.
Is this ceramic or hardwood?
It's in the front face.
Is it ceramic or hardwood?
No, Judge. This is Virginia Mills special wood. It's a
hardwood.
wire
right.
brushed.
Now let me ask you a
yes.
Okay, now we can go back. Go ahead. I got what I saw what I needed to see.
Scratches all over the place.
Okay, wait, go back and show me scratches all over the place. That I didn't see.
Yes, so this is another one.
Yeah, I see it. You're good. Go ahead and go back to the desk. All right, I got your pictures, Mr. Smith, and let's look at your pictures.
Not to mention the sofa bed was protected, wrapped up.
Well, this happened some way. So how did it happen? The brand new floors, he had done them, what, a week beforehand. You would have noticed it if you walked in and there was a horrible scratch. So you guys are bringing it in on what, on a dolly? Maybe the couch is protected, but if you're bringing in a dolly, something you guys, tools, something scratched it because you offered to pay for it. Why are you offering to pay for it if you think it was there?
I offer to pay for it because if it happened on my watch, I'm a professional.
Okay, so then why didn't you fix it?
Because I offered to fix it. I actually have any other extra wood? He said yes. I said okay, good. I have a friend that could come fix it. He said no. I want a professional. My friend is professional. He has his own flooring company. He said no, I want another company to come fix it. I don't know your friend. Blah, blah. I said okay, sir. We'll straighten it out.
And how did you straighten it out? Did you make a claim on your insurance?
No, I didn't make a claim on my insurance because I was talking to my friend to go fix it.
Yeah, I know, I heard that part. But then, since he did it, since you don't get to pick who fixes his floor, he gets to pick who fixes his floor. Did you go ahead and make a claim on your insurance, or did the way you worked it out, was that just you walking away and not fixing it?
No, I don't do that. I was on pay for it. I was just handled. That week was crazy. I was backed up from deliveries from COVID, so I was getting deliveries done. I can't get back to him. He on the phone didn't want to understand what I was trying to tell him. Basically telling me what he wanted done is down the dirt. I'm telling him.
I know they're his floors. He gets to decide who fixes them. He doesn't have to go on the cheap because that's convenient for you. The real question here is, did you guys scratch his floors or didn't you?
No, we did not.
Well, I don't believe you. I think you did. Because this is a very, don't ma'am me, I'm in the middle of talking. Don't ma'am me.
I'm sorry, Your Honor.
Don't mansplain me.
I'm
in the middle of a sentence. Wait until I'm done, and then you can respond. These pictures show some awful, awful scratches that are discovered before you even leave the room. And after he's tipped you $100. Before you even leave the room, he discovers them. So I think it's pretty obvious that no one that day was saying, well, we didn't do that. That day you're saying, well, it happened to my watch. It seems to me pretty clear that this happened during the move. Who else could have done that?
Every day. I cannot drag Italian furniture. It's soft.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Italian furniture. That was the furniture that he purchased.
Okay.
Italian.
Mr. Smith,
very expensive.
I don't think the Italian furniture ruined his floors. I think you did. I think you and your crew did. With your tools or your dolly or your whatever. That's how it got ruined.
We got to pick it up, Your Honor. We have to pick it up. We cannot drag it. It's soft leather. It was. Well,
the leather parts are soft leather. Yeah. Well, that didn't look that way before you walked in, and it looked that way after you were done. And I think you know that you scratched it. Otherwise, you wouldn't be sitting around saying you'd fix it.
No, I don't. No, I honestly.
Who am I going to believe? You or my lying ears?
I delivered the furniture. I'm the delivery guy. We always get the blame. I got blamed one time for something I did not do. The customer
but not this time.
I take pictures. Your Honor, that's okay. I'm willing to pay.
No, that's fine. Show me the pictures you took. Wait. You just said I took pictures. Show me the pictures that you took.
Telling me something I did not do.
No. Just show me the pictures that you took after you guys delivered it that show that there's no scratches. Is that what you were going to say? What was it you were going to say?
Hold up. I got pictures actually of the couch sitting in the room after we delivered it. Reason why I was willing to pay because as the owner, as a professional.
Okay, well then pay. But then why am I here? You're not willing to pay.
They don't want to, but he's making it seem like it's carved. That's carved on his floor. We did not carve the floor. The marks been there. That's why I wanted to see what the courts wanted to say about it.
You know that, but you see those floors are pristine and we're just done, right? You see that, right? You have to understand, you think this is some criminal case where it has to be proven beyond and to the exclusion of every reasonable doubt. That's why I don't schedule Zoom calls when, in fact, someone's delivering furniture. Because I don't want them hitting my walls and ruining my things, especially not my new...
Exactly. I don't want to get blamed for that. I understand.
Mr. Smith, stop interrupting me. Mr. Skaken, whatever Zoom call you were doing is less important than this. And if you were able to walk away from it to help them up the one floor, you should have just stayed there so you could see what was happening. That's the thing to do when people are delivering furniture, because they're not always the most delicate flowers. And it's your house, and you take a lot of good care of it, so you should be there to make sure they don't do what they did in this case, okay? You should be there. That doesn't mean that it didn't happen, Mr. Smith, because for me to believe that that was there is beyond the comprehension of anyone who's listened for 1 minute to Mr. Skaken. He is very, very meticulous, okay? Those floors were just done. He was very, very careful. He has this beautiful Italian piece. He's so happy. Everything is pristine. Everything is perfect. And then what happens? He turns his back for a minute. He walks up to her. He's so nice. He tips you before looking at the job, which is crazy, Mr. Skaken. And then he walks up and says, oh my God, look at what happened. Look at what happened. And then he sees the scratch floors. And your reaction, Mr. Smith, is, oh, I'll pay for it. But now when we're in court, oh, wait, I'll pay for it if I can fix it on the sly and cheap with my friend Harry, but not if you have a professional do it. So I find that you did do the damage, and I'm ruling in the favor of Mr. Skaken and the amount of the repair estimate. He's entitled to have it repaired by whomever he wants to have it repaired by. $1,172.88. Verdict for the plaintiff.
Well, both parties got chewed out by the judge this time. First, the defendant, of course, for scratching the floors, which he knows he did, and the plaintiff for having a Zoom call when furniture's being delivered. I don't know, Mr. Skaken, how do you feel about this? You are going to get your money, but you did get chewed out a little bit by the judge as well. What are you thinking?
That's true. I should be there. The only thing was stopping me to go upstairs because of the tight space, and I don't want to interrupt. They already been up, the sofa up, so I thought there was no point for me to be there because it's just left to assemble. But apparently the worst piece came after that.
Well, here's the important thing: the furniture's in. Do you like it? Forget the floors. How about the furniture? You happy with that?
Yes,
Counts.
yes, I'm
like it.
really happy. That was waiting 6 months for that furniture. So I'm definitely happy, and the friends can come over and sleep on it.
Okay,
Definitely
good enough.
Happy.
Well, you're going to get the money to fix the floors, so congratulations. Good thing. Good thing you sued.
Yeah, hopefully.
All right, thank you.
So here's the principle behind this case, Doug. If you have a situation where the movers, I'm just going to give you an amount. Say the mover charges $5,000 to do the various furniture moving. And let's say in the process, the floors are damaged, and if it costs, say, $8,000, the question, would the furniture mover have to pay more than the actual job cost? The answer is yes. If the furniture mover was negligent and the job costs more than the furniture mover was supposed to make in the first place, it is tough for the furniture mover. He is going to have to not only give up the money he was owed, but pay the difference.
I know Judge Milian's husband, John, is a judge, and he has a brother who's a doctor. What does the other brother do?
The other brother,
that's the successful one.
Right, the one who is successful, made money, and says he's the only one with it who has an honest job. He taunts us because we're a lawyer, judge, and doctor. He is a businessman. He runs a small business, actually, and is a franchisor of Dairy Queens in the state of New Jersey, which I don't understand. I always have to pay full price when I go to Dairy Queen. I haven't really gotten a lot of perks out of that. But, he actually is... he says he's the hardest worker.
He's made something of himself,
right.
as opposed to you and your other brother.
He's had to actually balance the books between what's coming in and what's going out, which I really haven't had to do because of the nature of the work I've done. And,
well, you haven't had to do because your wife does all of that.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
A little bit.